Hello everyone, my name is Philip Olaomi and I want to thank you for joining me today again at Let's Talk About Worship. This is where we engage the scriptures to reveal God's mind about the subject of true and acceptable worship as recorded in John chapter 4 verse 23 to 24. And our goal is to be able to create a worship culture that is pleasing to the Father at all times. Today, we want to continue from where we stopped, voice range development. That was where we started last week. And so let us get right on. Last week we addressed how to connect the low registers to the high register flawlessly. And it's great if you've been able to master this. But if you're not there yet, or you're still experiencing some, the jamming of your tongue, down here, then keep working on the muscle exercises that we addressed in our previous videos. And those exercises, they will loosen that up. So let's just keep practicing. Practicing is the goal. That's the game. So today we'll continue from where we stopped. Now, I want us to do, the ha sound, and this time we're going to make it breathy, like ha, ha. Yes. So now, because we're working on range development, we're going to include the up and down registers. We can include, we can sing it going up and down, but this time I want us to bite our tongues to be able to do that. It's going to be the NG sound, like let's do it again. So you see, we're not staying in the high notes, we're just sliding through. We're coming back to where we started from. So coming back to where we started from in terms of pitch and also in terms of muscle management. And when you do this consistently, you'll notice some discomfort or maybe a squeeze in your larynx area. But the more you exercise, the more ease you will feel in that area. So let's do it breathy. We're going up and going down, remember. So that's the NG sound. Let's do it with the ha sound. Ha, ha. So let's connect it without breaking it in the middle. Ha, so while you are doing this, you may experience some cracks, but it gets better with time. The goal is to keep practicing and also to keep it evenly and breathy. So let's do it again. Ha, ha, ha. So we need to keep it are connected. Now, when we're doing this, our focus, number one, our focus is to be able to maintain a flawless connection between the high notes and the low notes, like ah, ah. So that's our first focus. So when you're practicing that, we need to keep that in mind. And the second focus is to be able to feel what the tongue's action is at the beginning and at the end. The sound should end the same way it started. It should end where it started. Like, ah. What's my tongue doing? See, the tongue has the sound that I'm making right now. I'm able to make that sound because my tongue is moving in different directions and moving in different, in different places, different directions. So also when you are singing and your tongue is moving all around, it affects the sound that you're making. Now, it may be conscious for you to produce a particular type of sound that you want to produce, maybe when you're ad-libbing or maybe some other things. But for the sake of what you're doing right now, we want to maintain We want to note what the tongue is doing. If I make a sound, if I make the ha sound with my tongue, that is, with my tongue just freeing up like that, loosening up, and I'm not attaching it to anything. Let's do it, and you see what I'm talking about. Ha. Well, that may be good, but for some people that will not know how to, that have not mastered how to maintain their voice, as in their tongue, if you cannot make your tongue to be steady, then the sound is going to be everywhere. But while making the ha sound, you will notice that I'm resting my tongue at the lower tip of my teeth. It's not for any other thing. It's just for it to be stable, so that it does not move around, so that the voice and the sound I'm making is going to be a straight one. Let's do it together, and you see, you note that. So my tongue was not moving. I positioned it at the lower tip of my lower teeth, so that it can be stable. So you need to know what your tongue is doing. And also, for every sound that you produce, if you're maybe trying to maybe to run some scales, and so you need to note what the positioning of your tongue when you're running those scales, so that you know where to position it when you're introducing that maybe into a song, or maybe when you're ministering. So our third focus is to note what the jaw is doing. You need to know what the jaw is doing to maintain a straight sound, and you will notice that the jaw closes towards the end of the R sound. So we need to allow this to happen, so that we don't end the sound with a muzzle effort while the jaw is still open. When I'm saying that, I mean something like ha, ha. So my jaw is still open, but I'm using the muzzle effort to be able to close, to stop that sound. And we need to allow this to happen. There are some songs that requires it, that is fine, but for the sake of what we're doing, for the sake of this exercise, we need to let it fade off. But while still fading off, we want to maintain a straight sound, not a wavy kind of sound. Let's do it again. Ha, ha. So you see, towards the end, the jaw is closing. So let's note these three objectives, and as we sing along, as we do this exercise, and you see, when you do this, when you're doing these exercises, I may not be able to see whether you are inhaling or exhaling. I'm not seeing whether you're singing a high note or a whole note. I cannot see the frequency or the vibrations, in your vocal cords. The only thing we see when people sing high notes sometimes is that they squeeze their faces to tell that they are singing a high note, something like, just something like that. So, but let's try to sing this. Let's try to do this exercise without any squeeze in your face, because the pull, the stretching of the vocal cord is happening right down here in your larynx area and not your face. And this is going to be our fourth focus. So we want to make the sound that we're making, we want to make it secondary. We want to focus on our facial expression. And I want you to understand that when you're singing a high note, when we sing a high note without having to squeeze our faces, it helps. It loosens up the muscles in your neck area, and it allows your vocal cords to do what they're created to do. And please bear in mind that when you squeeze your face, you engage your facial muscles, and they're all connected, to your neck. So this squeeze, any squeeze in this area, it takes away from the quality of the sound that you are producing, because you'll be creating pressure in that area. For example, if I do, just something like that. So you see that while I'm doing that, this place is already stiffened. and that's going to be affecting that will not make the vocal cords to do what they have been created to do, or what you have been exercising. When you exercise them, yes, you make them to function better, but with your exercise, with everything you're putting into it, if you still create pressure in your neck area, on your face, they will not, you're going to be hindering what they are meant to do. Let's sing the ha sound now, and note your facial expression. That is very, very important. Note your facial expression. So let's go. Ha. So I'm not saying, I'm not doing this. No. Yeah, so but let your facial expression, let it be, maintain a straight face. Just maintain a don't create any pressure. When you create that pressure, don't forget it affects the muscles in your neck area. So with everything that we've done today, I want us to put it all into practice. So don't forget, the first thing is maintain a flawless connection between your between the low note and the high note. And the second one, note what the tongue is doing, master what the tongue is doing. And the third one, the jaw, what's your jaw doing to maintain a straight sound, to maintain a straight and clear sound. And the fourth one, your facial expression. So I want us to do the ha sound again, but this time we're going to do it in ascending order, and you see how easy it is. So let's go. Yeah, so you can see that I've been able to expand the range without unnecessarily creating pressure on my face to affect, to stiffen up the muscles in my neck area. So let's practice this over and over, and you will notice some significant changes in your voice. It may be a very short video, but I tell you, please put in time into it. If you really want to get better, we need to deliver excellence at all costs. Whenever we are ministering to our Father, He deserves the best. I want to thank you for joining me again this week. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Philip Olaomi Music, on Facebook, on YouTube as well. Philip Olaomi on Instagram and on Twitter. You will be notified when we post more videos. Also, please like this video, share this video, and let others be impacted, the way you are. Thank you for joining me this week. God bless you. See you next week. Amen.